Hi, my name is David and I'm the founder of WiseFlies. If you love to travel and want to travel at a fraction of the cost, you definitely came to the right place. I want to share with you a story of my very first international trip. I was 14 years old and my mom took me to Italy. This is me standing in front of the statue of David in Florence. We went to Bari, which is the heel of the boot that makes Italy. We went to visit a monastery and my mom said, hey, let's go explore. And we went to these restricted areas that we weren't allowed to go to all by ourselves. And it was an amazing experience. I kept thinking, what if we get in trouble? We're not allowed to be doing this. But on the other side, I love the thrill of adventure and exploring. And from that moment on, I knew I wanted to travel for the rest of my life and as much as possible. At 14 years old, it was amazing. My flight was paid for, hotels, all the food. It was an all expense paid trip. And I thought, I'm going to travel everywhere in the world. Why not? And then once I became an adult, reality set in of how expensive travel truly is. I wanted to go everywhere, but I couldn't afford it. Flights were thousands of dollars. I remember taking my first trip and it cleared out my bank account. So then I worked all year, saved up money all year, and then went on this amazing trip, spent all my money in my bank account, and then started the cycle all over again. And I realized at this rate, I might only be able to travel once every 1 to 2 years because it was so expensive. I knew there had to be a better way of traveling cheap. Then one day I stumbled across this system called travel points banking. My life was never the same. A year after I discovered this system, I took the most epic trip of my entire life. It was so epic I had to write a book about it. I published a book in 2016 about how I traveled to 7 continents in 4 months and only spent $241 in flight costs. Here are some clips from the trip. I'll admit that book trailer was a little dramatic, but I wanted to show you this receipt from a part of the trip that only cost me $181. So I learned about travel points banking in the fall of 2011 and booked this epic trip in the fall of 2012. So if you look, the cost of this itinerary was only $181. I was able to exploit this loophole through United Airlines. So I started off in Sydney, Australia, where I was volunteering on a farm, and then I went to Bangkok, Thailand, where I met up with my wife for 5 weeks. We traveled through Thailand and Laos, and then went to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where I went to see Angkor Wat, and then back to Bangkok, then to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where I ate a lot of delicious food, and then from Ethiopia to Cairo, Egypt, where I saw the pyramids, then from Cairo to Vienna, and then from Vienna back home. And it was an amazing trip. This is all for $181, and I'd say the highlight was going to Antarctica and swimming with the penguins. It was an amazing experience, and best of all, it cost less than the price of a smartphone. And then my wife, she was 5 months pregnant, and so she was ready to go home, so I got her a first class flight from Hong Kong to New York. This seat would have cost, well, it's actually a bed. It would have cost over $10,000, but we got it for less than $100. They even gave her free pajamas. This is a receipt of a trip that my wife and I took to South Africa. We went for $11.20 plus 80,000 miles for 2 one-ways to South Africa. This saved us over $1,000. One of the things we did in South Africa was bungee jump from the highest point in the world. And now that we have a family, our travels have not slowed down at all. In 2017, we went to 7 countries. Our daughter at 4 years old has been to 12 countries, 5 continents, all over the world, all thanks to the system of travel points banking. Our most epic family trip was when we went backpacking through Fiji, Australia, Bali, and Taiwan. We got married in Bali. We did it in first and business class seats. This is us in Fiji. To give you an idea of the receipt and how much it cost, to go from New York to LA in first class, and then LA to Fiji in business class, it cost $5.60 per person, only $16.80. These seats would have cost over $3,000 per person if we paid full price. We would have never been able to afford it if it wasn't for travel points banking. Over the years, I've saved over $100,000 in travel expenses if I would have paid full price. Thanks to Travel Points Banking, I never have to worry about a price tag with travel again. I figured out this trick to get travel as cheap as possible, and it would be really selfish of me if I didn't share that with you and allow you to travel anywhere you want in the world for less than $100. That's why I created the WiseFlies membership site. This way you could travel wherever you want and get up to 90% off your flights and free hotel nights. With the WiseFlies membership, you get access to courses, video tutorials, ebooks. I even created software so that you could put the Travel Points Banking system on autopilot and you don't even have to think about it. I wanted to share all this information with you so that you never have to worry about travel being expensive again. You may be wondering, how much does it cost to join the WiseFlies membership site? Well, let me ask you a question. If you had access to information to save you thousands of dollars in travel expenses for the rest of your life, how much is that worth to you? $1,000? $500? Well, I wanted to make it as affordable as possible so that you never have to worry about the expenses of travel again. That's why for a limited time, it's only going to be $9 a month to access the WiseFlies membership site. That's only the cost of lunch. I encourage you to see how a $9 investment could save you thousands of dollars in travel expenses.